best show to talk about MyFaction. You can get B and Max reactions. Welcome to the show.
Massive thank you to all our channel members. Your support helps keep MyFaction Reaction going strong. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hi guys, and welcome back to MyFaction Reaction. You're here with Nathan once again. And today I want to take a second and talk about some outstanding issues in the game. Some that are newer problems that need to be corrected, some that are slightly older, and some that have been existing for a long time. And I think it's good that we talk about these and we actually get it out into the air so that hopefully, fingers crossed, somebody from the developer team looks at this and goes, you know what, we really should fix these. And some of them aren't hard fixes. So let's take a look at that. Before we do, don't forget to hit like and hit subscribe on the channel. We've been doing a lot of stuff recently, not as much content in 2K, but we're still creating videos within 2K. We're still streaming, all that's still happening on a regular basis, but we've been doing Raw, SmackDown, and NXT watch parties, which we're going to continue to do. And so if you want to join in on those, I'd love to have you there. That being said, let's start talking about some of the problems that we need to get corrected. All right, so let's start this off with something that just got fixed as of like literally me just about to record this video. And I want to give credit where credit is due in these situations. So the main thing that was spurring this along was the lack of price drops when Hellfire cards hit the market last Friday. As Galaxy Opals were entering the marketplace, they were supposed to drop in price, and we did not see that drop. It was reflected in the new Hellfire cards, so those ones did get the price drop in them. However, any of the older cards that were in there beforehand did not see a price drop. Now, thankfully, we did hear word from Harrison, the community manager at 2K on Discord, that we would see a price fix coming soon for those. The description was a little vague, and I know a lot of players took that as just pricing in general because they felt the cards were just overpriced in general. And I never believed that to be the case. It was specifically fixing this issue with Hellfire, the Hellfire cards coming in and the price drop not happening on the other cards. But as of 8 p.m. on, I don't even know what today is, the 19th, 20th. As of 8 p.m. on November 20th, that was actually fixed, and the prices dropped on all the cards within the card market. So that's great news, honestly. And I'm really glad to see them taking the feedback and fixing that. That being said, I am going to segue into one of our problems here. So you'll see within this card market here, I'm missing a few pink diamonds that are unavailable. For whatever reason, when the Superstar SuperPack 3 cards entered the card market, the pink diamond mail cards did not go in here. So we're currently in the card market. As you can see, we have a pink diamond Fearless Kairi Sane, and that's the only pink diamond I have in the marketplace at the current moment. Now, when I go to my collection and we look at the SuperPack 3, which is right here, we are missing 3 different male pink diamond cards, which are just not in the card market. So, and I've heard from other people that the Damian Priest card is also not in the card market. So these 3 cards are just missing, and if you wanted to try and purchase them, you just can't at the moment. This is something they should fix. At this point, every card from a card pack has entered the card market, except these 4 specific male pink diamond cards. And it's an easy fix probably to get them into the card market. I'm not sure why it hasn't been done. So thank you, 2K, for fixing the pricing. I know everybody was really looking for that. However, can we get these 3 cards added in? I know people do want to get their hands on them to use them, so that'd be wonderful. All right, next, let's talk about one of the major problems that's been going on almost 2 months. It's about to be 2 months, and let's talk about it. So the ranked season began 2 months ago on September 22nd. This is season 3 at the moment. So in looking at the rewards that you can get here, as you go down here. There's usually 2 cards. You're going to get a regular version of the card with the character on it, and then like a shattered version. I'm going to show you what that looks like in a second here. But as I go back here, when we look at Amethyst, it just says redeemed, and it doesn't actually have a card there. And then you can see for Ruby, it also says redeemed here, and you do get a pink diamond Damian Priest card. So what's going on here? When you go back to Amethyst, it just shows the exact same card. When we came in, it was empty because they don't have a card in that spot. And keep in mind, this rank season started September 22nd. It's about to end on Sunday, I think on the 28th, or no, 22nd. 22nd or 23rd is going to end. So we are days away from this ranked season ending. Now, if you go into the card market here under ranked play rewards here, you can see that the previous tiers have all had, you get a regular version of the card, which is just normal, and then you get a shattered version of the card as well. So you can see that here. So slightly different version of the card, same like number on it, but it gets an extra badge or 2. But for whatever reason, the second card showing the shattered image with Damian Priest just has never come in here. It's not been loaded into the My Collection ranked rewards under there, nor is it showing up in the ranked rewards itself when you're going through there. And when you hit Amethyst, you just get nothing. It just kind of blips and you get nothing when you hit there. The ranked season's about to end, and this should be fixed. This is 2 months in this problem. I know it's been reported to customer service. I know that they have an open ticket on their forum about it. This is something that 2K needs to look at and get this fixed for players. This shouldn't be an issue that has been outstanding for 2 months that people are still waiting for a fix on. So let's get this fixed, 2K, especially before the season ends in a few days. Next up, something that I want to talk about, and this mode I enjoy quite a bit, and that's Faction Wars. But I can't play it that often, and the reason is we are just not getting enough tickets to play this. Now, I'm just going to say this outright. This mode shouldn't cost tickets to play in the beginning. This is a roguelike mode. You play 5 rounds, you get some Faction Wars points through them, and then you can use the Faction Wars points to unlock cards through the Faction Wars exchange market here. So there's rotating cards that come in once a month, and then they get put into permanent after the month is over. They're discounted when they come in to the market initially. And then also you have bosses that are available to you so that you can go through, and as you play Faction Wars and you fight the boss teams, you can actually unlock these boss cards and then put them into your lineup. Not that any of them are great and that people want to, but like for me, it's just I want to collect them all. I want to get all of them in there. And as somebody who's a content creator, I like this mode. I think it's fun to play. It gives a little bit of variety. It's nice to play on streams. So this is a fun mode. But we do have a problem at the moment. And the big problem is that we just are not getting enough Faction Wars tickets. So as you can see, I only have 5. The only way that we can get tickets right now for this mode is to get them in our weekly logins. And it's not even every week. Every other week, we get Faction Wars tickets. So twice a month, we get Faction Wars tickets, and we get 3 apiece. That means we can only play this roguelite mode, which, keep in mind, goes for 30 to 45 minutes, depending upon how long the run is, 6 times a month with how many tickets they're giving us. In 2K24, when you completed a successful run, they actually gave you your ticket back so that you could then play again. And really, I think the best solution is get rid of tickets on this and just let people play the game. This is a mode that players can just play repeatedly. It gives them content to do. There's very much times with this game where the game feels very content dry in terms of MyFaction because live events are sparse. You get a dump of them on Saturday. You have them all done Saturday or Sunday, depending upon it. Maybe you get a birthday bash. There's a weekly tower on the Monday, but there's not much else going on in the game without that. So this is a perfect mode for people to play in between content dumps and just give something to do. So I would remove those tickets completely as an option. That being said, we need more tickets if you're going to continue to keep them in here. You should be giving them away weekly as the weekly login rewards. Every week, give 3, probably 5 of them away. 5 times a week, that seems more than fair. And then add them in your live event rewards. So let's talk about this 10 minutes in hell. So there's 4 rewards that come with this one. So you're going to see here, you got the Galaxy Opal Finn Balor, you got a Hellfire Deluxe pack, a Hellfire Basic pack, and then 4,000 MFP. I, along with most, I feel like most of the players, instead of getting 4,000 MFP as a reward, would much rather have Faction Wars tickets. I think those are more valuable to the players at this point. It would make a lot more sense. Currently, you're giving us about 16 new cards in Faction Wars a month. You're getting 4 rotating cards that are put into the card market at the beginning of the month, and about 12 new boss cards are being added. So that's 16 cards a month that are being added to Faction Wars. However, if you're only getting 6 tickets a month, you can maybe unlock 5, 6 cards a month. I don't think you could do a 7th. So you just can't even try and unlock all the cards because we're just not getting enough tickets to be able to do so. And I think this is an area where, once again, this is an easy fix. Just give us more tickets. Put them in the weekly login rewards. Give them to us in live events if you can't just give unlimited tickets. And maybe bring back if you complete the run, you get your ticket back so that you can do the run again. This is a mode where, once again, you should be encouraging players to play this mode. It will help out a lot. It'll give them something to do when we're between live events. This should really be a no-brainer for the team. Finally, let's talk about the elephant in the room. And if I didn't talk about this, the community would be in an uproar. Let's talk about US Tour, I guess World Tour. At this point, it's become a meme, though, within the community itself. So this is a mode that launched with a bunch of promise. And cue in, I'm going to figure out how to do this in edit, reviews and comments on it. People really liked this mode when the game came out. It was different. It was a little bit better than Proving Grounds, gave a little bit of variety, and it had some good rewards, and people were really impressed. So game launch, everybody's very happy. April 28th, so about a month and a half after the game launches, we get our first update to World Tour. It adds 3 new cities, and people are pretty happy. So they're seeing an update. It was about a month and a half. We're expecting we're going to see updates every month and a half, maybe 2 months to it, adding more content to the games and more zones. Because if you look at the bottom here, we've got change region, and you see the US there. But, and before it was just flashing Japan. Now it's flashing Japan and the UK. So there has been a change to World Tour to be able to make it do that. It was only 1 extra region initially, but now it's doing 2 extra regions. That being said, there's not been an update since April 28th. We are almost at 8 months since the last update to this mode, which is incredible. I think a lot of people are upset. Like, this was a mode that had a ton of promise, and it feels like it's completely wasted. And not only has there been no updates, there's been no communication. 0 communication about this from 2K, from the community managers, about what's going on here and why we haven't seen updates. It's really, really disappointing. I think this was a lot of people's favorite modes when it came out. I really enjoyed it. I really like going through there. There's a lot of content to do. Like, each of these areas has like multiple sections with multiple matches in it. And each of the matches feel kind of different, feel kind of fun. And they were really cool to do. And here we are almost 8 months later, and we've not seen an update for this. Now, there's smoke that we could see updates soon for it. We've talked about it on the channel in the past. Stuff's been data mined. It looks like there's assets in the game in the files, but the trigger hasn't been pulled yet. 2K has said that the final island, I believe, or the final island update will come out for Chapter 5. Chapter 5 will come out next month. And that's exciting. I enjoy the island. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I think it's kind of fun. I think it's really fun. I'm not even going to say kind of fun. I like the mode. It's a dumb story, but it's a fun, dumb story. And I always appreciate that. But this is a shame that this mode hasn't seen an update. It's really, really disappointing. This is an area where I really wish 2K was communicating with the fans about what's going on and why we haven't seen updates. This mode replaced Proving Grounds in the last game. And Proving Grounds started with 4 chapters when the game launched. And by the time the game finished in 2K24, it had 10 chapters. That means it got 6 updates over the life cycle. And I think most of them were done before December. I don't think there was an update in the final 3 months. So I think they closed. We're getting close to that. December's next month. And we've received 1 update to World Tour. This mode had a ton of promise. But at this point, it's United States Tour. And it's just become a meme with how unupdated it's been. Undated? D-dated? I don't know. And 2K should really be looking at the failure to update this mode this year. Take some ownership and responsibility, talk about it, communicate with the fans. And then beyond that, find a way to make sure that this doesn't happen next year. This is just, it's really disappointing. I think people really wanted to play this mode, and they just haven't given anybody the option to do so. So anyways. So that wraps up my outstanding issues with 2K25. We're getting close to 2K26. I'm not sure how many of these are going to be fixed. Some of these are quick fixes. That Damian Priest card, probably a quick fix. Fixing the cards in the card market that aren't there, that should be there, probably a quick fix. Adding more Faction Wars tickets, I think that's not a hard fix. I'm not a game developer, and I don't want to put that on there, but I feel like that is probably the case. So yeah, no, just let's find a way to fix this. That being said, if I've missed issues, let me know in the comments what you think still needs to be worked on and fixed, and what you'd like to see done with the game going forward to fix those issues. Because if there's enough that I've missed, we'll do a second video. But to me, these were the major outstanding ones that we've just seen little to no progress on over, like I said, the past few weeks to the entire cycle of the game so far. So anyways, guys, before we leave, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Your subscriptions help a huge amount. It really does help the channel grow. We're almost at 2,500 subscribers. We're about 20 people away from hitting 2,500 subscribers. And when we do hit that mark, we'll be scheduling another 12-hour live stream, which I'm very excited to do. Beyond that, 2K25 content, we've also started watching Raw, SmackDown, and NXT Live. We got a group in the chat. We're talking about the show as it's airing. It's really exciting. It's been really fun, and I'd love for you guys to join if you want to. So, and then finally, I added it in the intro. I want to thank all the channel members. It really does help me out. I've talked a little bit before on how I'm still looking for new employment. And it does help me and my family out when you guys do that. So I really do appreciate that. Means a ton to me individually. So thank you so much. With that being said, guys, I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.